It's not the same. People are angry. I meditate to take my mind away. Stone Paxton Music and Life, you guys, and we're back again. I'm gonna wait for all y'all to get in here. Happy people, we're back again. Check, check. We're waiting for everybody to get in here, y'all. We're gonna let a few more people come in before we get started. What's up? Happy people in the house. Get up and dance. Get up and dance, man. Get up and dance. Where are my happy people at? What's up, y'all? Let me know what city you coming in from. If you're new to this channel, let me know that you're new. And even the pickaboos who are peeking in, checking me out. And even the ones that are watching from other channels, whatever bullshit they own, come on in and lift that frequency up. It's for you. This channel is all about happy people. Happy people today. Taking off of your face. Share this live. We're about that high frequency, y'all. That's what this is about. It's all about that high frequency. They say happy people makes the world go round and round. Happy people. Let me know where y'all hitting in from. Let me know what city you coming in from. Now dance. Share this live, y'all, before we go in. We're going to talk about my sister, Angie Stone, the loving Angie Stone, the incredible, the legendary, the beautiful, the lyricist, the phenomenal. They say happy people makes the world go round and round. Happy people. Y'all got to remember, man. This channel's all about happy people. And we're going to keep it that way. You guys can hear me good? Yes, 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 yes. Happy people. What's happening, you guys? Stone Paxton Music and Life. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Listen, every time, sometimes I use that song to wake my spirit up. I remember sharing that song with Angie. I played it for her. And she was like, wow. I sent her the video. And she was like, wow. She said, dang. She said, dang, Stone, you be getting down. I'm like, yeah, you know, I be trying, Angie, you know, I'm trying. She said, you ain't trying, baby, you doing it. So that song is a high frequency song, man. Every time I'm feeling any lower vibrations, which is rare because I keep myself at a high frequency vibrating level. But when I do, that's a song I put on and I ride to, because that's one of them songs you can put on and you just, it don't matter what you're going through. I promise you, play that song, and that song is gonna send you through the stratosphere. It's just one of those songs, you guys. So that's my song. And if you ever seen me live with my band, we put on a heck of a show, man. Live, it's incredible. Whatever songs I perform, my live shows are just as incredible as my studio records of my music and stuff, you guys. But listen, I wanted to get on here today, you guys, and talk about the BET Awards. I'm sure all of you guys have seen the BET Awards, and I thought I was going to, and I'm usually there, but my publicist actually hit me up and asked me, was I going to go to the BET Awards? And I was thinking about it. And so much, when you plan something and you're thinking about doing something, and then all of a sudden you look up and time has passed and you didn't get to do it. That's kind of what happens to me, because I'm doing like a million things at once. And so I plan to do something, and then when I look up, the time has passed. So I plan to go to the BET Awards. I go to a lot of the awards, the BET Awards. I've been to a lot of them, but a lot of times the Grammys, sometimes I get to make it, sometimes I won't, because I'm a Grammy member. But I wanted to make it to the BET Awards because I knew that they were going to do this situation for Angie, and I wanted to see how it was going to play out. So there were people that had texted me and said, "You're not at the BET Awards." And I said, actually, I had totally forgotten about it, because my publicist said to me that, she actually hit me and said, "Are you going to BET Awards? Do you still want to go?" And I said, yeah, let me. But this was way ahead of time. So I could have planned it out, but I didn't get back with my publicist, because those things have to be locked in early, because the red carpet, and you're going to walk the red carpet, all those things have to be lined up. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't get a chance to set up a situation so I can do the BET Awards and the red carpet, so I can walk the red carpet and all that stuff that goes along with that. Okay. But as I watched BET, and that was yesterday, I think, because I was on live with you guys, and then later on that night was the BET Awards, and people had hit me up and talked to me about it. But I was rather disappointed, and I'm going to tell you why. And I don't know, man. Maybe it's just Stone, because sometimes I do things, sometimes I just say things, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just me kind of rambling in my brain. But I just felt like it could have been a better memorial thing for Angie. I felt like, they could have done a speech. Maybe it's just me. Share this live, you guys. Let's bring this number up a little bit more before we continue to go in. Let's bring it up a little bit more. I know some people will get on late. Some people are at work, and I know that some people don't get their notifications right off. So share the live with your friends, your family, and let's go in. Let's talk about this BET thing. Hashtag justice for Angie Stone. Thank you, Shazame. Thank you, Shazame. I appreciate you. Brother Timothy, what's happening? Trishelle, what's going on? North Carolina in the house. Always. Chris, what's happening, family? ESL in the house. Let me see. Tracy. What's up, Tracy? Thank you. I'm into my fashion. Concord, North Carolina, Daphne. But Daphne, I ain't seen you in a minute. Welcome back. It's been a minute, Daphne. You haven't been around in a minute. What you been doing? Rosemary, Callie in the house. What's up, Rosemary? Angie Jackson, Alabama. I love you. I need some of the peach cobbler. I need some cornbread and some peach cobbler. Angie, I need my cornbread and my peach cobbler. Okay. Let me see. Sarge in charge. What's up, Sarge? Sarge, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate. I don't know if I thanked you for being a subscriber, but you guys do me a favor. Give a great welcome you to Sarge in charge, who became a member. I don't know when you became a member, but I just want to welcome you. For those of you that haven't welcomed Sarge in charge, please welcome Sarge as a member. I don't think we welcomed him here. Dago, Callie, what up? Hey, hold on. Sabotage. What's up, family? Yo, man, I ain't talked to you, bro, in a minute. What's been going on, man? What's been happening in San Diego, brother? It's been a long. I haven't seen you in what? I don't know, man. I think the last time was it at the NAM convention when I spoke, or was it at the Indie Power conference that I spoke on the panel the last time I saw you? The music industry panel. Barbara, Washington, Watching from Cali, Barbara. Welcome. Always love having you here. Life with Meeks plus Albany, Georgia. I'm tongue twisted today. What's up? What's up, Meeks? Holly, welcome. Tampa, Florida. Welcome, Holly. Well, we got people from all over the place. True 75. Yo, yo, yo. What's good? Everyone, what's happening? True 75. Man, you guys are coming in, man. Listen, I love you for that. But listen, so let's get into this BET Awards. I felt as if this could have been much better. This could have been put together much better. I feel as if Angie deserved more than just, don't get me wrong, Brittany Spencer did a great job with the acoustic guitar and another acoustic guitar and a few guitars on stage. They did a hell of a job. I would have been cool to see great to see Angie's background vocals, you know what I'm saying? With Ashton and them singing backgrounds. I felt like Ashton and them vocally would have been better on the backgrounds because I like how Angie's original background vocalist sound on the vocal. So it would have been cool to see Ashton and the ladies holding the backgrounds down because I just felt like that background, it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't Ashton them. They got a little thing going on with their backgrounds. That's because Angie, she worked with them and make sure it sounds the way that she wanted it to sound. So it would have been cool to see Ashton them on those backgrounds singing. That would have been cool. But overall, the performance was great. The performance was it was a nice performance. I'm not even gonna drag the performance. It was great. I wish I was there because I would have spoken to Brittany and I would have said, you did a great job, Brittany. I'm a musician. I love the acoustical element to that song that you did. And a few other people did some songs, but I still felt like it could have been put together better. I felt like they didn't really cover her history. And it just would have been nice to see them cover just a little bit of timeline of her history from the start to finish. And maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe that'll happen in the future. But I felt like she's given so much to the sector of soul music that it was deserving of them to have given her a better dedication, memorial dedication. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just felt like it wasn't enough for me to go, damn, they did Angie Stone right. They could have had Diamond, they could have had Michael up there speak. I feel like Diamond and Michael should, when they talk about Angie, they could let them speak and tell a little bit about their mom. Maybe that's, some people think that's overkill. That's just my opinion. I felt like BET could have done a little bit more to show a little bit more respect to Angie and her legacy and what she's done for not just soul music, but for Black music. Birmingham, Alabama, Mama Sean, did you get your CD? You get your CD, Mama Sean? You better check your Arkansas in the house. Thank you. I hope you became a member, Arkansas. J Stars, I hope that you became a member. Sorry, you guys. I'm sitting here messing with my microphone. I hope that you became a member. Yeah, you guys. So I felt like they could have done Angie better. I felt like it could have been put together a lot better. And maybe even Diamond performed some of the songs. What, that would have been cool. It wouldn't have been bad for Diamond to perform a song that is her daughter, right? So I feel like BET could have came at the situation a little bit better. The performance to me, 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. I give it a 10 because I felt like that acoustic breakdown really gave it some different kind of element. I just felt like they could have done more. And that's me. Like I said, I get caught up in certain stuff when I know people or just knowing an artist and then what she went through, the tragic passing that she went through. I felt like it should have been more given to her for this BET Awards. You know what I mean? I'd love to have seen them show a little bit of her talking, maybe backstage in one of her shows, or maybe her getting a BET Award. Previously, they could have re-rolled some footage and with her accepting an award. That would have been so cool. It just would have been really, really cool to see that, man. When you're a legend, to me, it's just certain ways that you should be handled and you should be respected. And I didn't feel like, I'm not going to say she was disrespected, but I'm definitely going to say that they could have done a better job at representing what she had brought to the table and all the number one hits and all the lives she's touched. They could have gathered a whole bunch of people and let them tell their stories. What did Angie Stone's music do for you? And they could have showed, 20 different people or 10 different people. I was going through this, and first time I heard one of her songs, it changed my life. That's the power of being an artist. That's the power of being a writer. That's the power of touching people through lyrics. So had they done that, I felt like it would have really given this powerful element for her to be remembered. She's going to always be remembered, but for maybe the people that never knew who Angie Stone was, right? That was watching that show, that are just discovering the BET Awards. I felt like for those people too, it would have been a warm welcome and introduction to who Angie Stone was and what she had given to the history. Because other than that, people got to go research. And some people are just not researchers. Some people are not going to research. But what I will tell you is all the noise that we have made on social media in the Angie Stone sector is bringing a lot of attention to this situation with Angie. I'm starting to see bloggers that weren't about Angie Stone now starting to talk about it, because we've been so consistent with staying consistent talking about her with the people that are talking about her in the circle, in the sector, that now other bloggers are actually jumping on board and starting to talk about Angie. Now, are they doing it for the real reasons? Are they doing it to really be like, man, I loved her music and I want to continue to pass on the legacy of who she was? Or are they just doing it to make a quick dollar? I don't know. But I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as we continue to put enough attention on this, eventually something will definitely happen. I ended up getting some new information that I can't share right now. I want to share, but it's definitely pertaining to that, because I need to first make sure all the information is right before I spit it. But listen, you guys, we lost a magical person, but we didn't lose her. We lost her physical body, but we didn't lose her spirit. She's still here with all of us. Every time you put her on her record and play it, she's here. And so we have to remember what the music, I think sometimes we forget the power of music as artists. We have to remember what that music did for us, how it helped us make it through a period of time. I think as an artist, even with myself, sometimes like when I hear people talk about my music, right? Um, I was telling Angie, I thanked her for the Brothers song, right? I was on the phone with her and I remember saying, oh, Stoney, I said, you know what? I just want to thank you for that song. I said, man, that song, I told her I was going through some things at that time. And as a man, you can feel unappreciated, right? So whatever made her write that song, and I think I asked her, I can't quite remember. I have to look at my notes, because a lot of the conversations I had, and I did not want to forget it. So a lot of things I would type into my notes and keep it so that I wouldn't forget the conversations that I had with her, so I can go back and replay it in my mind and in my spirit, right? And I remember telling her about no joke, I wish he was on there. It's a friend of mine named Hugs. He's on one of my songs called um, Love on the Dance Floor. He's rapping on that song. His name is Hug Biz, right? I had him on the phone. I called Angie and I put him on the phone. And Hugs, if you're watching, please comment in the section right now. If you're watching, pop on the live and come in this section and talk to us, bro. He wanted to meet Angie. He said he always wanted to meet her. So I called her up. First, I texted her and I said, it's Stoney. I said, I got a friend on the phone. I said, will you take a phone call with him? He wants to meet you. She said, yeah, baby. She never said no. She said, yeah, baby. So I got him on the phone and he told her how much he appreciated her music. He told her how he loved her music and what her music did for her. And he mentioned the song Brother. And then when he said it, I said, oh, me too. I said, listen, Stoney, I forgot to tell you, that song touched me. That song did things for me as well. And he told her he was so excited to meet her. And he just told her how he felt about her and how her music had touched him. It was such a magical moment hearing him talk to her and me being like kind of on the outside spiritually, just watching this happen, because I made something happen for him. I put him on the phone with Angie Stone. And it didn't matter who I put on the phone with Angie. She always talked to everybody. She took her time to speak to people. She didn't rush. She didn't say, I got to go. I'm in a hurry. I can't talk to him, Stone. She always said yes. She never said no to me. Not once. I just want you guys to understand, that have never met her in a close-up and personal conversation or in person, how personable she was with her fans. She loved her fans. She made time for her fans. She wasn't Hollywood. She was none of that. And it's rare in this business that you meet people that are like that. It's rare in the music industry you meet people that are down to earth that will just sit on the phone and talk with you and not be in a rush to get off the phone or be annoyed because a fan wants to have a conversation with them. She talked to my friend Hug. She talked to him and she kept talking to him. And he got off the phone. She probably would have still been talking to him, but he got off the phone because he didn't want to bother her. He felt like, okay, I don't want to go overboard. And he called me back that week and he thanked me. He said, "You made one of my dreams come true." And I was trying to do that with anybody. I called my cousin. I told her, I said, "Hey, she loved Angie Stone." I said, "Listen, I'm going to be talking to Angie tomorrow. Do you want to meet her?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm busy." When Angie passed, my cousin messaged me and was like, "Oh, you wanted to put her on." I said, "I was trying to introduce you to her, but you didn't want to talk to her. You could have said hello. You're not going to get that back." So she was a very personable person. So it bothers me to see her not represented in her light on the music side like she was in real life on the music side. It's almost like the fans and all of us have to continue to put her in that light so that she gets what she deserves, because surely she deserved a better presentation at the BET Awards. And I'm not even really knocking BET. I'm just saying that whoever put it together, it seemed like a rush to me and it wasn't well thought out. And she deserved better. She deserved better than just something being thrown together and just like, okay, well, yeah, just throw something together and put Angie Stone's name on it. She deserved better than that. She deserved for the presentation to be right. She deserved for her son and daughter to be able to get up there and say a few words and point at that screen in the presentation. It could have been a 3 or 4 minute. It could have been It could have been a 2 minute presentation, and then singers singing a little bit of each song. It could have been a medley of 4 of her songs back to back, and that's it. But a better presentation, I felt like. And I know eventually somebody is going to put something together for her that's going to be like that. You understand what I'm saying? It'll be a award show that will give her the proper due respect that she deserves. I mean, because she earned it. And it's not like we're just making up. She deserves it. She earned this. And I was just kind of bothered by that, man. I mean, I don't know. I live in the spiritual realm. I don't live in the physical. Even though you guys see me in this physical body every day, I operate in the spiritual realm. So I see from a different perspective. I don't operate from the same perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like that's what she deserved. And me knowing her and talking to her and having conversations with her and listening to her tell me about what she should have gotten and how people have stepped on her and how, she's not quite respected like she should. Those things ring in my spirit like it was yesterday hearing her say it to me. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like yesterday, like me hearing that, it's a replay in my spirit over and over again. I can hear Angie say those things to me over and over again, like it was yesterday. Just like I hear the things that my mother, the defined things my mom used to say to me, I hear that over and over again in my spirit and in my mind. I hear it. It's a huge vibration because I operate in the spiritual every day. That's how I'm able to see things before they come. I operate in the spiritual. I can feel things before they come, and I can see things before they come because I don't operate in the physical. I'm strictly operating in the spiritual every single day, which is why the moves I make are spiritual moves. They're never just me off the top of my head saying, "Oh, I'm going to go do this just because I feel like it." No, I operate on the spirit. I pick up on people's spirit. I pick up on vibes. So that's how I'm able to make the moves I made through the years and stay out of harm's way as well. You feel what I'm saying? But we have to continue to keep Angie in the light. This whole thing with Angie's passing has just kind of opened up. It's not even done. And trust and believe what I'm saying. It's not done. You got the Angie Stone sector still working hard. You got people still working hard to find things that are not of the known to a lot of people. But trust and believe, with the focus of everybody still focusing on Angie Stone, the powers that be that we might not think are not paying attention are starting to pay attention. And believe me, the right people are watching. Trust me. The FBI is watching all these videos. They watch. They're keeping track of who's talking. They're keeping track of who's keeping up the real conversations, who's telling the truth. They're taking note. That's their job. They're taking note. This is not over with. Angie Stone will see justice. Trust me. It doesn't matter when it happens, but it's going to happen. And trust and believe me, it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in my one video, I said she's more powerful in the spiritual realm than she is physical. She's still operating in the spiritual realm. She's using people like myself. She's using people like Paperwork Party TV. She's using people like Auntie Mickey. Yeah, she's still operating in the spiritual realm. We became her voice. The day I cried and I felt it the way I felt it, and I was embarrassed with that video, March 1st, I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was going to take it down. A friend of mine called me, said, I saw the video. I said, man, I'm taking it down. He said, don't do that, man. He said, that's how you really felt. Please don't do that. He said, I know you seeing yourself cry. You don't want people to see that, but please don't take it down because that was real. He said, I felt you. You made me cry. He said, when I saw you crying, it was so compelling. You made me cry. Do not take it down. And I kept it up. I kept it up. It's real. You feel what I'm saying? So we got people that are still pushing the focus on Angie's passing and finding things out. And me, like I got information, but I just certain stuff I'm not going to drop until I feel like it's the right time. But like I said, I promise you guys, I will continue to talk about Angie because we want to keep her name out there. Even if you don't have information, we should always continue to talk about her contributions, talk about her. What was your best song? You know, it's like, you know, many people were touched by Angie. You know what I'm saying? How many people in here lives have been changed by Angie Stone? Put it in the comment section. I like to know how many people in here's lives were changed by a song that Angie Stone wrote. I want to show you how powerful she was. Put it in the comments. How many of you guys were touched by an Angie Stone song that personally changed the way you move, the way you thought, and the conversations that came out of your mouth? Scorpio's in the house, you guys. Scorpio, welcome to the channel. I was looking at the time, like, maybe let me see if Scorpio is available. Maybe if I go on at this time. Scorpio, thank you for always being a contributor to the channel. You're one of thanks for being thank you, Scorpio. Thank you for being one of the top contributors to Stone Paxton Music and Life. It is donations like yourself and subscribers like and members like yourself that keep my channel going and allow me to be able to sit here and ramble my mouth and tell you some things about whatever we're going to talk about. But I appreciate you because it just says that you appreciate my time that I'm taking out to give this to you guys. So thank you, Scorpio. And thank you to any of you guys that spend your time donating to Stone Paxton Music and Life blog. I got a lot of love for you guys, and it's really important because it allows me to continue to do what I do. Now, how many people in this comment sections? Okay, somebody said, Victory said, No More Pain. That's one of my favorite songs too, Victory. Leanne said mine was Back in the Day with that first one. Which one? Oh, Back in it. What was the name of the song, Leanne? Dolores said that's because you keep it real. Thank you, Dolores. Monsieur. She said, I listen to her every day. She truly touched my life with not just her music, but her personality. Monsieur, listen, I wish that I could snap my finger and have her sitting right here. I wish. I'm mad at myself because I asked Angie for an interview and she said, yes, Tony. I said, can I interview you for my YouTube channel? And she said, yes, Tony, when you want to do it. And I was like, all right, let me put it together. Right here I am in my mind thinking I got forever. That's why I did that short video that I was talking about. If it was your last day, what would you do with it? It made me think. The reason why I did that was because I thought about some of the things that I say to some of my friends that are no longer here, and then I don't follow through, right? So she asked me again, Stoney, when we gonna do the thing? And I was like, oh, I set it up. Man, I'm really upset I didn't do that because the questions I would have asked her would have been the questions you guys would have wanted to hear. I slept on that. I could have had a legendary interview from Angie Stone because she kept asking me, when do you want to do it? And I was bullshitting. I'll never do that again with none of my celebrity friends. That was foul for me not to take it serious that she came back and said, let's do the interview, Stone. All right, I'm gonna get it together and get back to you. Scorpio, man, listen. Scorpio's the baddest on the internet. She's the baddest member on the internet. Listen, she just gave you guys 10 Stone Paxton Music and Life gift memberships. She comes in here every time and she serves up the team and new people with great situations. Now look at that. If you don't have a membership, you better go grab it because she just gave free memberships. Sarge in charge said, you didn't know Stone? Sarge, what are you talking about, family? What do you mean? You didn't know Stone? What do you mean, Sarge in charge? I'm confused. Mama Sean said, I have learned a lot about Angie Stone through y'all. So thank you, Mama Sean. Country girl. Yeah, grab that membership, you guys. Ty Do said, I worked at Kiss FM and made sure these songs were in rotation every week, brother. Wish I don't miss you and more than a woman. Cuzzo, thank you, Ty Deuce, for showing love to Stony. Thank you for your contributions. Victory said, wow. Listen, Scorpio comes in and she surely loves on everybody. I'm waiting for Sarge in charge. He said, you didn't know Stone. What do you mean you didn't know Stone? I'm confused, Sarge in charge. Is that a question or is that a statement? Because you really didn't say. He said that you should have did what Angie. Yeah, Sarge in charge. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel bad because I asked her for the interview and she said yes, right? And then she hit me back and said, Stoney, when we gonna do the interview? When you want to do it? And I said, oh, I'm thinking I got all the time in the world. This is what I'm saying. We never know when is our last day, man. Like I'm playing games with myself. So I say to her, oh, Stoney, let me put it together. I don't know why in the fuck I even said that. I should have just said, let's do it today. Like it wouldn't have hurt for me to say, can we set it up for later? I had that option, but I was bullshitting and didn't do it. So I'm mad at myself and I'll have to live with that the rest of my life, you guys. I can't go back and redo that. That will be a memory that I realized that I made probably one of the most fucked up mistakes in my life was to say that, okay, I'm going to set it up and then I didn't follow through, which meant she probably was ready to do it as soon as possible because she asked me again when I had already asked her for the interview. Natasha Finest Baham said, I was not impressed with the tribute to Angie. Wish you could have gotten that interview with Angie, though. Natasha, I have been beating up on myself since the day she passed about that. I really have. I've been replaying it like a broken record, right? Like over and over again, like what made me procrastinate on that? I don't know, man. I'll never do that shit again. Tracy Shorter said, I really like her new single, Breathe, with Juanita. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That they did that single a while ago, Juanita and Angie. They did that a while ago. And Natasha, yeah, they could have done her better on the BET Awards. They could have done her much better on the BET Awards. Now, that song with Angie and Juanita, incredible. But you ain't heard nothing because Juanita got songs with Angie that they wrote together that's not even released, man. Let me just tell you that. I've heard them. Just incredible. But not only that, listen, y'all go follow Juanita's Spotify, man. Juanita Wynn is incredible. So we ain't gonna fall short of that. Juanita Wynn is an incredible artist herself. Her and I have charted in the UK at the same time on the charts. We, in the top 5, top 10. She's incredible. And she's just an incredible person altogether anyway. So make sure you guys go and follow Juanita Wynn Spotify. That is like my other sister. From the time that her and I became friends, we've always been friends. Like, it's like we've known each other 40 years. Honestly, that's our friendship. And we'll get on the phone and talk for hours. And it's really a kindred spirit, like brothers and sisters. So I love Juanita. That's my family, like for real. Dolores, oh, Daphne Warren. Daphne, I thought you were a member. Hey, you guys, welcome Daphne Warren to Stone Paxton Music and Life as a member. Please welcome her to Stone Paxton Music and Life blog as a member. Thank you for becoming a member, Daphne. We appreciate you over here. We don't take any of this for granted. We love you. We love all the members, all the people that come in here correct and is trying to be positive. We love back on you. If you're coming in here with negative, then there's only one thing we're gonna do. We're gonna press that eject button and you're gonna shoot out the top of that airplane and you're going to end up wherever you end up at. We're going to eject you up out of here. Shouts out to my moderators, CC and Cambodian Mystique. They do such a great job, man. I want to acknowledge them. Make sure you guys get them a hello too. ATL in the house. Harriet, wait. LaShonda McGee, are you guys members? If not, please become a member of Stone Paxton Music and Life. That would be completely lovely of you. You know, we build in here. The real plan is, you know, one day soon, because I got to put together this promotional tour, and it'll be myself, me, to be Alan McNeil from Troop. My plans are everybody that's on this live that are members is for us to, when I get back on the road, if I have enough people in each city, is for us to actually visit your city and do an impromptu, real intimate concert live where it'll be concerts and conversation. That's what we're going to call it. Concerts and conversation. It'll be us talking, meet and greet, and live performances, concert and conversation. It'll be Meech, myself, Alan McNeil from Troop, and probably a couple other celebrities. We're going to see how it's going to go down, you know, because I deal with just about everybody. So it'll be concert and conversation. That's what the you know, little tour idea we're going to put together. But we're going to keep building. And as we continue to build, those are things that we're going to do. And we're going to give away some cool things. It's not just about Stone Paxton. This is not, I want you to understand that. This channel is about the community. It's not just about me, which is why in the beginning, as I was speaking about Angie, I never spoke about myself. Nobody knew. For the people that didn't know I was an artist, you wouldn't have known until I started talking about it. You understand? So I kept everything about Angie in the beginning. And when it got crazy and people started tripping out on me, I had to kind of switch up and start talking about, you know, myself and showcasing my music, because at the end of the day, that's something that Angie also always wanted, is for independent artists to focus on the music and healing people through music. This was her words to me. Heal people through, speak your message through the music. When you're in pain, speak your message through the music. When you got something to say to somebody, tell them through the music. Now, I've lived that, but hearing her say it, you know how sometimes you got to hear somebody else say something to realize what you were thinking was right? So I would hear Angie talk. I would hear Stoney talk, and what she would say would make me go, damn, okay, that's confirmation. She believed in that pen and educating and healing people through the penmanship and the words and the power of the words through spiritual. She was a master writer. Like you see those master woodsmen, the guys that would make the furniture and the tables. She was a master crafter at writing lyrics. I consider myself pretty good, but I praised Angie Stone's writing. Another person I praised, Juanita Wynn. Her writing is freaking incredible. Another person I praise is my brother, Rufus Black, as a writer. Another person that's a great writer is Demetra Ship Meech. So I look at other people that are writers, and then I look at myself and I go, damn, am I that good? And then when I look at my writing, and when they say to me, Stone, you good. It's an honor coming from people like them. When they say that to me, it makes me look within myself and go. So Angie would say things that would make me go, wow, that's how I think. She said, write your story. Sometimes you can't tell your story to people, so write it. Scorpio, here goes Scorpio again, you guys. Mr. Paxton, CC, so Mpxone, aka Cambodian Mystique. Good day to everyone in chat. Scorpio, thank you for the donation. Scorpio, say bye to Scorpio and have a good day, you guys. She's one of our top donators to the channel. Say hello and say have a good day to Scorpio, because we got to treat her with love, because she comes in there treating everyone with love, and we respect that. Thank you, Scorpio. We love you. We appreciate you here at Stone Paxton Music and Life. And you guys show her some love as she moves out through her day with her work, because I'm sure she's busy at work right now. Listen, Angie was all about the healing through the music. So as I'm having conversations with her, she tells me about that reality show I was telling you guys about, and she wanted me to be involved. She said, "I'm shooting this reality show, and hold on, somebody else donated. Oh no, that was a. I'm shooting this reality show," she said, "and I want you to be a part of it, Stony." I said, "Yeah, come in." She said, "Yeah, independent artists, about helping artists come up and really putting into independent artists." So she was all about the music. She lived, she breathed, she loved the music. And that's why she continued to put her heart and soul in it, because she couldn't step away from it because she was convicted by it. As you hear in her music, she had a conviction about her artistry. She was 100% convicted. Go listen to her music. If you've never heard, which I'm sure everybody on here has heard her music, she had a huge conviction. You see, to be a great writer, there's a few things has to happen. You have to have lived it. You have to have experienced it. And if you haven't done that, you also have to have been able to imagine and put all three of those things together. When we write for people, we might hang out with them. We get to learn those people, and then we write for them because we want to be able to write their story. So we might hang out with them and talk on it, because she's written for a lot of people. And you ask, how is she able to continue to write for other people like she's written for herself? Because she is a craftswoman, like a craftsman with wood. She knew how to craft a story once she got to know you. And that right there is the highest vibration as a writer, being able to write a song and get people to feel those words coming out of that speaker is powerful. To be able to write a song is not easy. Let me tell you, as a writer, as a composer, producer, arranger, and writer, it's shit's not easy. Songs just don't get thrown at you. It is truly a divine element. It comes from an infinite place. That's here, you guys. It comes from an infinite place. It's not easy. It's not easy because everything has to make sense. So when you're a writer, a lot of times if I write, I won't rush a song. I might have the music, right? Every writer has a different method. Sometimes I'll pick up the acoustic guitar, come up with some chords, and I'll go to the piano and transfer those chords into piano chords. Sometimes I'll start with drum rhythms. Sometimes I'll start with a conversation like I'm having now. Somebody calls me and we're talking, and something they say to me sparks my mind, and I might put it in my phone. I might hum an idea in my phone, right? They don't know what I'm doing, but they might be sitting right with me, and I might talking to my phone because I just heard a song and what they said to me. And then I get back to the studio and I go into my writing mode. This is the real power of being a writer. This is what Angie Stone does. This is what Babyface, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, it don't matter who it is. Everybody approaches it the same way, but yet we have different ways we approach it because different things move us into writing. You understand what I'm saying? So the power of Angie writing came from her experiences. Every song that she's written is an experience that she's been through. Every song any singer you hear sings, sometimes other people write them, but the other person might ask them what's going on in their life. They might say, how's your relationship? So as I'm asking them, so what's going on in your life? I'm taking note, because right now we're eating and hanging out. I'm taking notes so that when I get back to the studio, I'm able to write a song for you because I learned a little bit about you. For the ones that write songs for people, like I said, Angie wrote for herself, but she also wrote for people. And trust me, the process of writing for people is you got to get into their mind. Do you understand how complicated it is to write a song, to get into somebody's mind and learn them within 10 minutes? Or sometimes you might only have 3 days to get to know them because the record company needs this record done. So you got 2 to 3 days to get to know them before you start writing these records. This is how it really works. So when you see albums and you see written by other people that are not that artists, it's either writing teams, a group of people writing together, or it's one writer who has lived with that artist for a week, a month, sometimes 2 or 3 days, and then they're able to tap into that artist and write for them like they write for themselves. So when I listen to my music, what I find to be interesting is when this is how you know you're an incredible writer. For those writers that are on here, right? I'm gonna read your your comment too, Natasha. Um, for all the writers that are on here, if you have industry writers that listen to your shit and they're really saying to you, hey, listen, this shit is good. And this is good. No joke, no cap. Then you know you have something special, because industry people, we don't play games. We don't have time to play games. We're very transparent and honest with people when it comes to being honest with them about their writing and arranging and even production. So Natasha said, my struggle has been actually writing all of it down, because it comes with a healing process from within first. But today I'm going to write until no words come to mind. Thank you for this combo, Natasha. That is what you have to do. Your love said, did any of you see the performance Diamond did in Houston recently for her mom? We're going to talk about that, your love, in a second. Natasha, do that. So what I do when I'm writing songs, I might not, let's say I'm working on my album now, right? Like when I work on albums, I really can't be on the phone with people. I can't really be on long phone conversations, because those things distract me, right? That's why I said when I take my time to do this, I'm taking my time out of writing this album that I'm working on, because those things are distractions, right? And I can't have my mind everywhere. And I can't be upset. I can't be arguing with people, because all those things affect my work. Like me getting on YouTube, going back and forth with people. Honestly, I really don't even have the energy to do that, because it actually affects my writing. But I'll tell you something magical. I've written some of the best songs of my life when I've been going through broken hearts and relationships. And it scares me, because then I go, dang, that was an incredible song. But now I can't write another one unless I go through a broken relationship. And it scares me, because I don't want to go through a broken relationship to write a great song like what I wrote when I was going through. So what I've learned is to tap into that same spirit that I tapped into when I was going through that broken heart. And how do I tap into that same spirit to write that same kind of song? And I've learned the craft of being able to do that. So now I don't have to go hope that I have a broken heart to write a great song and be scared. Like, I don't want to go through a broken relationship to write this great song. But great songs come from that. Somebody just donated to the channel. Let's see. Margot, thank you, Margot, for the $9.99. Margot is another supporter of Stone Paxton Music and Life blog. She always holds down. That's my family right there. She holds down the channel. That's family. Y'all know that. You come at me crazy. She coming at you. She coming at you. Hey, y'all see me in the ring when I be doing that ring thing? That's family. She get in that ring too. She gets in that ring. She handles that ring thing. She's real with it. So that's family. Margot donates to the channel. That's real family right there, though. So just know that, you guys. We have some solid people here, Stone Paxton Music and Life. We are not a turn up channel, but we can turn up when we need to. But listen, you guys. So for my writers, yes. Let me go back to who's saying that. Natasha. Natasha, listen. Just write all the words down. When you're writing a song, just write them all down, spread them out like a puzzle. So when you have the music and you're putting it together, you can take those lyrics. Margot writes too. Margot writes, she's a great writer. You can take those lyrics and you can place those lyrics in different places, and then you can make it make sense like a puzzle. Sometimes I listen to my records and I wonder, like, I'm like, because things don't have to rhyme. People think songs have to rhyme like poetry. They don't. The story just has to make sense. It does not always have to rhyme. And I'm telling you, as a writer, the story just has to make sense. If you listen to Angie's music, all of her stuff does not necessarily rhyme, but the stories are freaking incredible. The stories are incredible. Somebody made a statement about the performance with Diamond performing. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to give Diamond some love, because it took courage to get up there and do that. And then have to think about your mom in that moment of singing that particular song. It took courage for her to get up there. I'm proud to see her. I'm just going to keep it 100. I'm proud to see that she's in her artistry mode. I want to see more of that. When I do talk to Diamond again, my thing is, I'm proud of you. I'm glad she got on stage, because I'd rather see people in Angie's circle representing her other than people that weren't part of the circle. To see Diamond up there doing her thing, I was proud of her, man. Nothing is perfect. If you don't, you got to understand. That was, and because I know I'm an artist, so I'll share with you guys what happens. Um, I can promise you, Diamond didn't have time to rehearse. She knows the songs, so she might have maybe one day. So you guys, for those, because I've seen people saying negative stuff. If Diamond was to rehearse with a band for 6 months, she'd fuck some shit up. Now I'm just telling you what I know as an artist. Like, you can't just go throw a show together when you're not used to doing it. So y'all got to give her a break. She got up there, she did a great job with what she was working with, especially with the timing. Like, when I rehearse with my band, we like to rehearse sometimes 3 to 6 months. But being that I'm always performing, I can put a band, like when you see me put my band together for these shows coming up, you won't even know that we rehearsed for maybe a week or two. But I can do that because I know how to create that nucleus with the musicians to get what I want with the records that we have in the studio. But if you don't do that, it takes a lot of rehearsing, and rehearsing is good. It's better to rehearse, 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 and then rehearse some more. So if Diamond had 6 months, she would have really tore that shit down. She didn't do a bad job. I was just happy to see her up there. It didn't matter what nobody said. When I saw it, I was like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. Get out there and do that shit, Diamond, and keep doing that. That's what it's about. Carry the legacy, hold the torch, get out there, perform your mom's stuff, and keep that shit going, and don't look back, and then drop your albums. That's what I was proud about. So at this moment, I got to talk about, like I'm the uncle. I have to look at Diamond like she's a niece. Like, I'm proud of her because she's stepping into what she should. That's what she's supposed to be doing. Not on the internet doing all the other shit. Her artistry. The girl is talented, and you got to give her that much. She's talented. She comes from a talented family. So we got to just give her that at least. We can't just be on here just trying to tear down the performance. I could say a million things about any performance, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is bless her with you did a great job. And I know that it can continue to be better and better. As you continue to rehearse with that band, it's only going to get better and better. And that's a fact. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to show her, that love, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, she did a great job. She did a great job, man. She did the best she could. But I promise you, she started rehearsing with that band. I promise you, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Her swag is gonna get better. Her stage performance is gonna get better. That's all. With any artist, we gotta rehearse. Not everybody's blessed with hopping on stage like that and just getting it. Like me, I can hop on stage and get it, but that's only because I've been doing it like that since I was a kid. But I still have to rehearse too. Because if not, I hit some wrong notes, and all of us are subject to that. But she did a great job with the timing. She had to put that together. She did a great job, man. I just want to see her do more of that. I want to see her on stage doing more performances. I want to see her drop her albums. I want to see her drop her singles. I want to see her carry on the legacy that her mother left for her. Her and Mike. I want to see her and Swabo do their thing. This is what I'm waiting for. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for them. That's just real conversation and real talk. I'm excited. We can't, there comes a time where you have to be careful with what projections you put out to people. I've already went through my situation with the back and forth thing. There's no need for me to do that anymore. Where I'm at with is the love for Diamond and Michael is to see them keep the legacy alive that their mother left. So I can't be on here speaking any negative towards them like that. Unless somebody says something negative about me, all that other shit is over with. I'm on here, I'm going to say nothing but positive because I'm happy to see her doing Diamond and helping to make sure that the legacy of her family stays alive. And that's where I'm at with that. So yeah, I saw it, and I loved it. I loved it. Like, I saw people's reviews on what they said, but I'm gonna be honest, like, me as a musician and an artist, I just know how hard that shit is. Like, I dare any of you guys right now to get up on stage and sing a song. Hell, I dare any of you guys to sing karaoke without fucking up. Any of you guys. I dare anyone to do it. I mean, I see people singing karaoke, fucking the karaoke songs up, and I'll be like, damn, they just totally fucked that song completely up. Imagine being on stage. And I'm gonna tell you all the dynamics you're dealing with being on stage. You're dealing with the hot lights, and believe me, when you come off stage, it's like you have ran 8 miles. It's not easy. You got all the people in the audience. So you're dealing with, if you ain't used to being on stage, now you're hyperventilating low key, right? So it's not as easy as as you think when you get on there. Then you got to remember, you got to hear the music in your ear, in your monitors. Sometimes the music is too low. If the music is too low, sometimes you might sing off key. That's everybody, because you got to be able to hear the mixture of the music and everything to know if you're on key. Right? So it's so many dynamics that you're dealing with, or the monitors in front of the stage. Now, most places now are using the in-ear monitors. You know how hard that shit is? You know how many times I've been performing and I couldn't quite hear everything evenly? So I had to figure out the key. A lot of times I have to look at the keyboardist, and the keyboardist would know to hit a key so I know where I'm at, or just try to remember to make sure I'm on the right key of my own song. That shit is not easy, man. Being a performer, being on stage singing is not like doing karaoke. Very far from it. So I'm gonna give Diamond her respect, because she got up there, she did the best she could. But trust and believe me, and I want all you guys to remember this. If Diamond really starts taking her artistry serious, and she gets into her mode and really locks in with her artist mode, she's gonna be cold. She's gonna be cold. I'm just telling y'all, man. Remember, I said it first. Y'all heard me say it here first. If she really locks into her artist mode, she's got a real future. Swaybo, if he locks into his artist mode, the boy is cold. He's got a real future. I've heard records. I've heard his stuff. I've heard their stuff. Incredible. I'm just telling y'all, they just got to lock into their artist mode. Once they do that, the rest is history. They'll go on and they'll continue their mom's legacy and then create their own. Because right now it's all about creating their own, but keeping their mom's legacy alive at the same time. So let's just give her love on that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got to give her love on that. Like, if you see that video, comment under there that you're proud of her. If you see that video, comment under that video. Keep going, Diamond. Don't stop. You and Mike, do what you got to do. Keep that music alive. Give her some good comments, y'all, because at this point, we got to start inspiring. We've done the tear down thing, right? And like I said, I only attack people that attack me. So we done been there. So we're at the rebuild. We got to build people back into where they want to be. So let's build her into what she's supposed to be, right? And that is her artistry. Let's give that energy to her so that we can build and invest in the spiritual element of her being that artist. So as she continues to grow, everybody can be proud of what she has done, because she can continue to do what her mom did for the both of them, for her children. She can keep that legacy going for her kids. Now it's their job. It's her and Michael's job to pass on that legacy to the next generation. So she has a lot of work to do. And with that work, it's going to take people to support spiritually and not tear her down. She needs the support as an artist. And so I'm asking you guys to show her love. And, it'd be easy for me to sit here and say something negative, but I'm not going to do it. I realize I have a huge responsibility, and part of my responsibility is to be a teacher, but yet to continue to inspire, because that's what I've been doing all my life, and that's what I will continue to do. CC, thank you for the 5 dilly. Listen, look, when you got your moderator donating to the channel, that tells you everything you need to know. I don't see no moderator donating to the channel they moderate. That's some new shit. CC changing the game with that. So thank you, CC. Every time you donate to the channel, you're appreciated too, because you're building everything we're building. Everybody with me will be with me as I continue to expand and grow with my career. As it continues to grow, my moderators grow and go with me. My fans grow and go with me. Everybody goes with me. As I continue to grow, you go with me. And that's how we do. We build as a family. Let me read some of these comments, you guys. Marilyn said, why did Dana Stack steal Angie's royalties? When are you dropping the recordings? Marilyn, your love says, seeing these comments, if she's on, will grow her confidence. Yeah. Diamond is, you can't take away her artistry. Thank you so much, your love. You're correct. Marilyn, right now, I don't know why he did that. I have no answer to it. I just know it happened. And I just know I'm not the only one that know about it and that was a part of it and was around it. When Angie told me that he was taking that, first I didn't know what to think. But then when we found it out, that phone call that I made with my brother, him, and I put Shayna and Michael on the phone, the shit went buck wild. And it was real crazy. That's why with the phone call, I have to, when I'm, I don't know when I'm going to drop it, but I'm telling you, it's a phone call. It's not made up. I got the call and it went like that. It got real crazy, hit it. And if you think I'm joking, Shayna probably won't say nothing. But if you send her an inbox and say the Stone lying about that phone call, she'll say he ain't lying. Michael will tell you he ain't lying. I don't need to cap. I'm not a capper. My channel is not a reaction channel. I don't look at people's videos and then go react. This channel is a real channel. My content is based on real content. I am a content creator. I've been in the music industry I've been on YouTube since 2005, stopped, came back 2008. Go look at how long I've been on it. Just go look at the top of my channel. It'll tell you how long I've been on it. So I am a content creator. I don't go take other people's content and then do a reaction video. That means I'm untalented. When people do that, that means they're untalented. That would mean that I'm an untalented person and I can't seem to put together my own content. So when I'm telling you this, I'm not telling you this because I went to another content creator's channel and I found the information and I regurgitated it. I'm telling you what I went through, what I experienced, because I was on that call. And when you'll hear me talk, you'll hear me say, well, Angie said that, and you hear the person say, no, somebody's setting me up. And then you'll hear me say, well, we found the information though. How do you explain that? And he said again, well, somebody's setting me up. This is what he said. I'm only saying what he said. The whole conversation it's probably a good 25, 30-minute phone call, maybe longer. I wouldn't play the whole call, but I play key points. So y'all would see I'm not making this shit up. I don't know why he was doing what he was doing. I just know when Angie was suspecting it, and when we went to research and we found the information, I was like, damn. And I had to come back with her and tell her, yeah, that shit it's real. And then when I try to reach out to him, he ignored my phone calls. This is real. I got the text in my phone still. I could hold it up and show you where he said, contact me tomorrow, contact my office, contact this, email me. Why we fucking got to email you for you to call back? Just call back. If I say, listen, the team wants to talk to you in a meeting, we need to discuss this business, but you keep putting me off. It was not until I talked to Michael after Angie passed, and Michael tells me that he had called him offering his condolences and if they needed anything or any help. And Mike say, I got the number. I say, ooh, give me the number. Right? Now, before Angie passed, as I had messaged him, she contacted me and said, have you talked to him? I said, yeah. I said, he responded back. I said, I'm kind of shocked. He responded back with the text. She said, oh, okay. I said, he said he's going to talk to us tomorrow. And then when the next day happened and he didn't call and he didn't respond, I said, I'll try again. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't know. I said, I'm just going to keep trying until, I just told Angie, I'm just going to keep trying until he responds. You know what I'm saying? And he would never respond. She's like, I knew it. She said, I knew he wasn't going to respond. I was like, I'll just keep trying, Stoney. I'll just keep trying and trying. So he was avoiding. I don't even know why he was avoiding. I don't even know. Like, well, I mean, now I know. Later I found out, but it was like avoiding it is only going to make it worse. So for him to avoid Angie was confusing to me. So when Michael gave me the number, he didn't know. He didn't realize. I think it was a number that nobody had. He knew the kids only had. So he answered the phone. And I said, hi, this is Stone. I said, my brother wants to talk to you. We want to do this meeting. I already had my brother on the phone because my brother's like, call him. Let's get him on the phone. So he was shocked because he was put in a position where he had to talk. And he was put on the spot. But if it wasn't for Michael giving me that new number, he would have continued to avoid us. And that's when we had that conversation. Once again, let me state this. In the state of Nevada, you can record a a phone call conversation if you are involved legally. If you are involved with that phone call, if you are part of that phone call, you can record it. Now, if you're not a part of that phone call, you can't record it. If you're just a person listening, you can't record it. But if you're on there talking too, you can record the phone call legally. So I'm within my rights, right? So I don't know when the phone call happened. You know, he was raising his voice. My brother raised his voice back. It got heated. It calmed down a little bit. Then I made a statement to him. I said, "Well, hey, you know, how do you explain your name on these songs?" He said, "That's a lie. That's that's incorrect." And I said, "Well, I'm just telling you what we see on the page. It has your name on two different names. It was your name. Somebody setting me up," he says. Somebody setting me up. That's what he said. I went back and listened to the call over and over again to key points. He says somebody's setting him up. But dig this though. By the end of the phone call, and this is no joke, I said, "Do you mind if I get Shayna on the phone? That way we can get all this shit out in the open because there's things that need to be discussed." He said, "Go ahead. Get Shayna on the phone." I said, "Shayna, such and such is on the phone, Dana." They speak. It already gets a little heated because he don't like her. And it's clear to all of us that he don't. She says what she has to say. She called him a liar, a thief. You've been stealing. Your name is on all the stuff. We found everything. All of us found everything. He said, "No, it's not." And he went back and forth. She said, "You're a fucking liar." She said what she had to say. He said what he had to say. My brother had to calm it down. Told him, "Don't talk to a lady like that." He said, "Well, it's her. It's her. She's the one." He said, "Well, listen, we don't do that here. You don't talk to a lady like that." So my brother calmed the whole situation down. Now, I said to Dana, "Yeah, we did find your name on everything on this particular stuff." I'm just, we did. We did. Like, you know, but he was like still kind of like low-key kind of denying it, like, no. But check this out. By the end of the phone call, and this is no lie, he says this. This is what blew my mind. After saying he didn't know anything about it, he didn't touch anything. By the end of the phone call, he says something that just kind of shook me a little bit. He said, "Now, first of all, before that, he said, I don't have to give y'all shit." We were shocked. My brother was shocked with that. I was shocked with that. Damn, like he said, he don't have to give us shit. I don't do the on the phone shit. I don't do the on the phone back and forth stuff. I don't do all that. I need to see paperwork. Once I know y'all represent her, then I'll tell you. I know where. She said something like, once y'all show me the paperwork that you're representing her, then I'll tell you, I'll connect you to the people that do have her songs, and then you can yell at them. That's what he said. That shit low-key fucked me up. Because you got to remember, the phone call started with, "I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know. I didn't touch. Somebody set me up." But if somebody's setting somebody up, why would those songs be in your name? Why would this shit be in your name? If somebody's setting you up, why would it be in your name? So Shayna says what she has to say again before I said, "Is anybody got anything else to say?" Shayna said, "And yeah, so and like I said, you a motherfucking liar, you full of shit, and you a thief, and I don't, and that's and I'm sticking with that, and I don't give a fuck what you say. You full of shit." And that's how the phone call ended. And Michael was on that call listening. That's how the phone call, that's how it ended. No cap. Just like that. So yes, we were all confused because he said, "I know who has it. When y'all show me that y'all represent her," my brother says, "We sent you this paperwork a long time ago. You already know that. We already sent you the paperwork." Now you got to remember too, I had Angie send him a termination letter. I was the one that told Angie to send him a termination letter. I still have that termination letter. I told Angie, send him a termination letter. let him go. She let him go. And she sent a letter back to everybody with the company to let us know that she terminated him. I was the one to tell her, yeah, you're gonna have to let him go. You got to send him a termination letter, or it ain't gonna make sense because he's gonna think you're still allowing him to handle your business. So she sent him that letter. I have that letter. Matter of fact, I, I don't know if I do a video where, let me see if I, let me see. I'm gonna show you. I got to get into this whole live thing where I have to post the stuff, man. And that's why on StreamYard, I got to figure that stuff out, you guys. Hold on. Here it is right here, you guys. Hey, y'all think I'm bullshitting? I'm going to show you guys. See, I don't want to post it because other bloggers be taking my shit and then they be trying to take the credit for shit, right? But I got it right here. And as a matter of fact, let me save it again. There's no bullshit. Hold on. I'm going to show you this. This is in my email. 12/17/2024. I just want y'all to see the Stone ain't bullshitting. This is to us and the whole team. This is from Angie. And I'm going to open up the letter and show you. You see that? That was a termination letter. Okay? That was a termination letter. Y'all saw it. Now I could open it up and show it to you. There it is. But I'll do that on another video. We'll reveal that whole letter so you can read it. So you see, I ain't bullshitting. We ain't on here tap, tap, dancing, capping. It's only the real situations. That was a letter that Angie forwarded to all of us to make sure. Because I told her that she's got to create a letter and you got to do it today, Stoney. And she did it and sent that to him. So y'all saw it. That's from her email. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments. Mama Sean, thank you for the $20 donation. Mama Sean said, thank you for your positive energy and leading the way on how to navigate in the YouTube world. I have a question, and also, Stone, I will send an email today when you get off live. It's about YouTube. Okay, please, Mama Sean, send me an email. I'll be waiting on it. Any questions you need me to answer, I'll answer them. Godfrey said, I'm looking him up. Dana Staggs, he is credited on Kanye West's Good Life in a non-creative capacity. Hey, Godfrey, ain't nothing wrong with researching. I'm going to tell everybody, please use your power of research. That's what I'm going to say. I appreciate you guys. Red Clay, salute, family. Benjamin Padilla said, the music industry is one of the most corrupt. It's a shame that something that brings so much joy to one's life and memories are built behind these songs. Yet, the suits who are responsible are corrupt. Brother Benjamin, I couldn't say it any better, brother. Thank you for that. That's real. Melissa said, Barbara, which CC Las Vegas one? South Carolina in the building. South Carolina, 803 Fresh. CT, what's happening? CT, thank you, family. Hopefully you're subscribed to the channel and you become a member. Justice for Angie Stone, hashtag Justice for Angie Stone. Let me see who else says something. Tracy says, Stone, do you know anything about Antavius Weems representing Angie against Bruno? Yeah, Antavius was her original attorney. She loved Antavius. She always spoke highly of Antavius to me. She never told me anything negative. Antavius, she always spoke great about Antavius. Always spoke great. Hey, Godfrey, he on a lot of songs, Godfrey. I'm just saying, like, ain't nobody no writer and producer either. So that would make sense. Melissa said that's the problem with the music industry. They're literally stealing. Let me tell y'all something. LT said, I'm sure Diamond will be blessed with your positive review of her. Yeah, Diamond deserves it, man. Like, enough is enough. She deserves that, man. We done did our little back and forth. We ain't doing that shit no more. I'm all for Diamond and Michael, and it's all love. Let me tell y'all something. I released an album called Zodiac Volume 1. I got to actually pull that album, re-release it, because the songs are fucking discombobulated all over the place. So I looked up with my publishing, and somebody else's name was on my shit. On the first song on that album called Angel, somebody else's name is on my publishing. I wrote that song and produced it. Actually, I wrote it and co-produced it. Kendall Lewis, Ramsey Lewis's son, he co-produced it. He co-produced it. We co-produced it together. Let's just say that, right? He played the keys, right? And I produced the rest. So we produced it together and I wrote it. But on there, his name is somehow somebody's hijacked my publishing on that song, on the Zodiac Volume 1 album. The song's called Angel. And I happened to look up in my publishing, and the publishing showed somebody else's fucking name. Somebody else is taking the publishing on that song of mine, and I got to still track down who the hell that is. So in this business, that shit happens. People do tricky shit. People in your circle do tricky shit, and people that don't even know you. I'm going to tell you something else. Right now, Sound Exchange is having an issue because there's people getting paid for artist money publishing that are not even artists. Sound Exchange is actually sometimes makes mistakes giving checks, other people's checks, to people that didn't even, or not even that artist. Like you might have 4 artists, like Mike named like Johnny Bill, right? And the first Johnny Bill goes in and he sets up his Sound Exchange. Now, any other Johnny Bills has got albums out, he can go in and actually claim their shit and get paid for it, because they're not really checking 100% if this person is really the right person. I know people that are getting other people's checks right now. I've had conversations. I was like, you need to stop that money from coming, bro. That's not right. Like, you need to tell them you're not that artist. Like I don't even know how Sound Exchange allow that to slip through the cracks. So this shit can happen. You don't have to be a major artist for this to happen, you guys. This can happen to an independent artist. People just like stealing people's work. People want to get free money off the back of artists that are busting their butts, and it's not cool. It's not cool at all. CT said, I had just started watching Angie's YouTube channel about a month before she died. Heck, I was so happy she was live and was excited to say to her, then she died. Hurted me so much. CT, I know I didn't see it coming either, family. That shit was just some real out of the blue and random shit that happened. I didn't see it coming. But I will tell you this, CT. She called me one day and she said, I'm about to go live and expose it all, Stoney. I said, what you about to say? She's going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, wait a minute, Stoney. I said, don't do that. I said, let me call my brother and let him know and let him see what he say. Tell him this. So we call him and she repeated it. And he said, no, don't do that. We're in the middle of getting your money back. We're in the middle of setting up this Vegas residency. Yeah, please don't, this ain't the right time to do that. So please don't do it. But what she didn't tell us is she did it anyway because we weren't watching her YouTube. So I found out about those videos when she passed, when somebody said, oh, yeah, Angie mentioned your name, and some idiot came in, said some stupid stuff to me. Oh, you had to have done this or done that because she mentioned your name. And I'm like, what? So that's how I found out. I didn't even know that she went ahead, CT, and done the video that we told her not to talk about certain subjects, right? That's what we told her. We didn't tell her not to do the video. We just said, don't talk about those issues, Stoney. But I was happy that she called me and told me that she was going to go in, but I did tell her not to do it, and my brother told her not to do it. And we can't stop her from her conviction. That was her conviction. She felt as if she needed to do that. And it is what it is. That was something that she had to do, and I'm not mad that she did it. I'm just upset that she's gone, but I'm not upset that she was living in her truth and she wanted the world to know that she wasn't getting her money. Ram Richards said, veteran singer Candy Station said she's finally getting her royalties after many years. Ram, yeah, you see what I'm saying? This stuff is crazy, man. Listen, this is why I monitor all my work. This is why I write. I own my masters. I own all of my songs. I own my catalogs. I've had major labels come to me and offer other deals, and I've turned them down because I was worried about once I lock myself into this, if I can't keep control, then eventually I'm going to lose something. So unless the deal is going to be catered to me in a way to where I can keep full control of my situation, I don't mind giving the money. But you're not going to own my rights. You're not going to own my masters, my intellectual property. That ain't happening. That's the reason I've turned away a lot of deals. Now, I'm a gatekeeper. I'm in a great position where I don't have to have a label give me a deal. I might deal with some investors that will put up marketing dollars to market my new albums. I turn around and give my investors back a percentage off the album. I don't need a major. Every artist that's watching this, I want you to understand, you don't need a major label if you have investors that believe in you. There's your money right there. There's your marketing dollars. Get people that believe in you and they will invest in you. Just make sure you give them a percentage of your career, because you got the money, so you can give them back a percentage. If you don't want to be tied into a major label and you already got a distribution situation, seek investors or go get a loan from a bank, and there's your money to market. You don't have to become subject to just giving yourself away for nothing. You don't have to. If people really love your music and you got people that believe in you, they'll invest in you. Just think, if people knew they can invest in Elvis Presley or Prince, if they can go back in time and see that and had opportunity to invest, you don't think they would have invested in Michael, Prince, or Elvis? They would have. You just got to see those people are around you in your circle. We got the support around us, and we need the people to support us. All you got to do as an artist, don't be afraid to ask. I need your help with marketing. My fans or friends or family, I need your help. You don't have to be subject to just giving yourself away for fame. You don't have to. I keep control of all my stuff. I put up, I go broke for what I believe in this business, because I know what I do. The product I have is quality. So I know it's going to yield dividends. I believe in my music, and tons of people around the world believe in my music. As artists, you got to believe in your music, but you don't have to sacrifice your soul and your spirit for stardom. Shit don't make no sense. Why? I've accomplished these things on the wall right here. These accomplishments was from my hard work. Nobody gave that to me. Nobody. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody gave that to me. I did that on my own. Hard work, myself. Hard work. It wasn't easy, and I'm still working hard. I invest my money back in myself. I got a few investors, like I said, who jump on board. You know what I'm saying? They jump on board and say, Stone, when you're dropping your new album, I want to be involved. Okay, cool. We talk about what I'm going to give them. I'm teaching you artists. Those of you that are in my comment section that are artists, you want to know how I do it? I have investors who come to me. You got to understand, right now, the music industry is generating a lot of money, right? And money people know. You got banks, you got groups, you have collective groups of seed investors who are now investing into independent artists because they want a piece of that streaming and that digital money. So imagine when you got a solid artist who's got solid product, live entertainment, can perform. You don't think investors want a piece of that? They want a piece of that. So now you don't have to be a major artist to get people to invest. You just got to have product out, and they got to see that you have a catalog, and then they actually offer independent artists money. You can actually borrow against your catalog right now. So the money is there. You got the fans you can ask to support you. If they really believe in you, they'll support you. You got your friends and your family. You don't have to sell your soul to try to be a star, man, because that's how those stories get written. That's how they're able to come back and take. They can't take what they don't have. They can't try to take what they don't have. Please remember that. If they don't have it, they can't try to take it. But if they have it, they can try to take it, and they can take it when they want to. They just finesse it in whatever way and cover it up and change it up and switch it up and change up this narrative and the percentages. And all of a sudden you look up and things have been taken from you. And you say, they've been stealing from me from 15 years. Those are the things that artists will say because they're not paying attention, because a lot of artists too are so desperate to be a star. Who gives a fuck about being a star? Benjamin said, forgive my ignorance. I never knew how it worked. So Dolly Parton explained years ago that she refused to sign over. I will always love you to Elvis' manager. Good, she made tons of dollars with Whitney. Yeah, imagine. Listen, Benjamin, imagine if she had sold that. CC, thank you, CC, you're hilarious. You and Cambodian Mystique, y'all funny. Benjamin said, and she still holds the rights to this song. Yes, she does. She was smart. That was a smart move. Margot says, Ash, amen. Don't have to sell your soul. Not that serious. Yes, you don't. I'm a prime example. Have I been signed to major companies? Yeah. I made most of my success as an artist being independent, though. I produced and worked on major projects being signed to majors, but all of my success came from me independently under my own company. Every song of mine that's charted from here to overseas was strictly by my hard work and me getting investors to invest in what I'm doing or believe in what I'm doing. Most of the time I didn't have to. Most of the time they be like, damn, Stone, you be doing it. How can I be a part of what you're doing? I always get those people because they see the big picture. They see my catalog. They see me growing. So you got artists, you got to have people that believe in what you do. Then it's not easy to get people to jump on board. But just know you have options. You don't have to go sell your soul for this business. And I know, I get it. I was 14, 15, 16. I used to have posters on my wall. I used to see my celebrities I wanted to be like, or meet, and I cry. And then one day I just want to be, how can I meet them? And I was a kid. That's what we did in the 70s. We wanted to be artists. We wanted to be musicians. That's what I became by way of my family building, teaching me. Do you see what I'm saying? The power is in your hands, independent artists. We see what happened to Angie Stone. I'm sure if Angie could redo it again and she was here, she would do it all different from the beginning when she first signed her deal. Even when she was telling me how 50% of her publishing from the beginning, she was giving up. I told her, you didn't have to do that, right? You could have went directly to that company and cut the middle person out and you would have been getting way more than 50. And her thoughts to me was, it's okay, baby. They, was what it was. I was able to get my deal. But if I was her manager at that time, I would have said, nah, we're going to go right over to that label direct. We're going to do that deal direct and cut out the middle person. There's no reason to give 50% to somebody for just walking something in. That's a big percentage. You just said, hello, this is a great writer and artist, and you get 50% for that. I believe in finder's fees, but 50%, God damn, that's a lot of money. But this is what Stoney gave up in the beginning. She gave 50% of her publishing up for somebody facilitating a situation for her. And she didn't have to. But later on, she realized she didn't have to, but she was cool with it. She was like, it's okay. At that time, I had to do what I had to do. So she gave 50% up just for somebody literally getting on the phone saying, hey, I got a writer. She's great. Yeah, she's an artist too. Oh, yeah? Okay, send the contract over. All right, bye. 50%. That's what happened in the beginning. You know what I mean? So she was worth so much more than that. She should have been getting 75, 80% of her publishing. That's just me. Or at least 70%, at least 80, at least 80. That's just me. She deserved it. Let me read some of these comments. Benjamin said, managers take advantage of that. being naive. Look at Angie. If she changed or drew up contracts from early on, she would have had different circumstances. Stone is right. Yes, she really would have. Elizabeth says, Stone, did you know Leland, one of George Clinton drummers, BK in the 90s? Yeah, I do, Elizabeth. CT said 50%. Yeah, 50, CT, 50%. Elizabeth, my cousin, Sir Knows, many years, Sir Knows with George Clinton with the Parliament. He was a guy that would bend his body. That's my cousin. So I've been around the Parliament since I was younger. You know, when they'd be on the road or shows, I would be hanging out backstage. You know, that's how I met Sly Stone years ago, was, you know, hanging out with my cousin, with George Clinton, hanging out backstage, and Sly Stone had that Spider-Man suit on. And I met him here in Vegas backstage at the House of Blues. He came out. If anybody saw that show that was in Vegas, or anybody saw that show, eventually you'll see it on DVD. He had a Spider-Man suit, and nobody in the audience knew, because Sly was making his comeback. So that's why he was hidden in the Spider-Man suit, because this was his comeback. He was coming out on the road with George, and he took that thing off, you know, and he had, I guess his back had been broken, so his head was kind of leaned down. He couldn't really lift all the way up, and nobody realized it was him until he took that off and he started singing that song. He took that mask off, and it was a treat to be able to even be around that. I've been privy to some very legendary situations, man. So I'm always thankful and grateful. Let me see. Let me read some more of these comments, you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Let me see. Simone said, huge disappointment with BT. Yeah, it was Simone, listen, I liked the performance, but I didn't care too much for the layout. I felt like they could have laid it out and given more to her legacy and who she was. So that was just me, man. You know, but I believe sooner or later somebody's gonna give a better memorial, or shall I say, pay their respects to her in a way of her being a legend, and they'll put on a show that'll be something really, really nice that will say that this is who Angie Stone was. That's coming. Are you, hey, Elizabeth, used to date Leland? Really? Okay, so Elizabeth, you know my cousin, because you've been out with the Parliament. You know Carlos? You knew Carlos? You got to meet Carlos? Yeah. So listen, I'm gonna tell you something crazy. How long were you around the Parliament? How many years? So I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna blow your mind. Elizabeth. CC say, my hubby spoils me. 4 years. Okay, so you probably don't remember when my cousin had his hair sitting up. My cousin, before he did the locks, his hair used to be sitting up. So when I was younger, I wanted to be like my cousin. So everything he would wear, every way he would dress, I would copy him. I would copy him. So I literally like identical twins. So whenever when I had my record deal when I was younger, my cousin actually was one of my dancers. Like, I got video footage that's going to be in my documentary. You'll see him on stage with me. When I met Tupac for the first time in DC, um, my cousin was with me. He was one of my dancers. He was traveling with me as I was performing. So it was at the Black Radio Exclusive Conference in DC. That's where I met Pac first. That's when Puffy had this conference in a conference room. It's called the Young Guns Conference, is where he was introducing Biggie. And when I tell you everybody was here, Heavy D, Busta Rhymes, Tupac, Biggie, Craig Mack, Babyface. Babyface was in the elevator with me 2 days in a row with the same bright green fluorescent jacket on. I think he was working on an album, and that was his good luck jacket. But it's weird because I think about that. I could have spoken to Babyface. I didn't even speak to him. In the elevator, I just didn't say anything. I don't know what I was thinking. And I was a young guy, and I didn't even say anything to him. I didn't say, hey, Babyface. Um, I didn't say anything. I knew who he was, but I just stood against the wall like, I didn't say one word. I don't. Now I wonder, like, why didn't I say anything to Babyface? But I probably could have had a record deal with LaFace Records with Yab Yum. I'm sure. I just didn't say anything. But at that time, I was signed to another label, so I was there to perform. So I was very loyal to the label I was with, but I met Pac in the lobby, and that's how Pac and I became friends. I met him in the lobby at the I think it was a Hyatt Regency in DC, but it was the Black Radio Exclusive Conference, man. When I tell you everybody was there in the groundbreaking conference that everybody was going to see. Like, because every room had a different conversation, right? Every room would be talking about something different with the music industry. These used to be big music industry conferences. It was Jack the Rapper and the BRE. Those were the two biggest conferences back then, right? Anybody that knows that's been around the music industry knows that I'm telling the truth, because if you were around it, you either went to it or you heard about it. So everybody came to the conference and they were looking forward to being in the room where Puffy was speaking, because this is when his label was really popping and everything was still new. And he was introducing Biggie. At that time, he only had Craig Mack. And I remember when he was talking, he was probably about 3 feet, 4 feet in front of me, because I was sitting maybe in the second row, and Babyface was on the left with his bright green jacket, and Fab from Milli Vanilli. I became good friends with Fab. Fab was sitting behind me, and Craig Mack was standing in the door with his hand on the wall, listening to Puffy talk about his new artist, which was Biggie. In hindsight, now that I think back to that, I think Craig Mack knew that was the end of his career right then. Just because now that I look back at the fact that he was leaning on the wall, he wasn't sitting in any chairs, but he was leaning on the door, the entrance of the door. He just had his hand on the door, watching like kind of from the outside, halfway in, halfway out. But now I know that he realized that that was the end of his career that day. You know what I mean? So, man, that whole situation. Let me see, who was there? B2K was there? Not B2K. Immature was there. Oh my God, when I tell you everybody was there, anybody that was at the Black Radio Exclusive Conference in DC, it was either 92 or 93. I'd have to ask my cousin because I don't have the paperwork to it. 92 or 93. Anybody that was there that comes across this live will tell you, yeah, Stone ain't lying. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. You'll be able to do the playback, though. Leanne said, I'm just listening, and it's just heartbreaking that she felt she had to go online. What? Hold on. Sorry. It's heartbreaking that she felt she had to go online, in which probably she felt was her only option, like no one was doing anything or could, and she truly needed her cash. Yeah. Well, to be honest, the messenger 215, thank you. The messenger said blessings to the channel and chat. Thank you, the messenger. We appreciate you. The messenger says, Stone, do you know Brian Loren? That name sounds very, very familiar, the messenger. Like somebody that I have met. That name sounds familiar. Leanne, she felt like she just wanted to do it. She told me she wanted to do it. So that's where it was. I don't know. I wish she hadn't, but she did it, and we all will have to live with this the rest of our lives. And she was okay with it when she did it. She wasn't scared and she wasn't nervous. She spoke her piece on that, and here we are, you guys. Okay, listen. Hold on. So hold on. Let me read a few more things real quick. Let me see. Elizabeth said, my first cousin was married to Slash for 20 years. Perla Hudson and Stone. That's how I got to meet so many people. Of course, this business is interesting because when you're in the entertainment business, we all know each other. At some point, we all know each other. We know somebody that's connected to the next person. We all know each other in the music industry. And that's why we really, in the music industry, we really don't have beefs. This is one thing I love about the music industry. We don't really have a lot of inner beefs with each other because we get on the phone and talk. That's one thing about the music industry cats. They will get on the phone and talk. Now, some of the rap stuff we've been seeing, the youngsters, they don't do that. But the OGs, we get on the phone and call each other. So it's good. We keep relationships. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows everybody. Everybody goes and supports everybody at shows. And that is the camaraderie I love about the music industry too, you guys. It's a lot of fucked up shit that happens, but there is some good positive things about it too. Oh, okay, gotcha. I knew that name sounded familiar, but I definitely know that name. It definitely rang a bell. Definitely rang a bell for sure. I know it from somewhere. Probably some people mention it. Maybe I even met him somewhere in LA. Listen, you guys, listen. I appreciate you. And with that said, I'm going to end this live. I'll be back on tomorrow at 11. But we're gonna end. I want y'all to get up and dance. Y'all know how we end this. We're gonna end this show with hold on. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, and who that's another thing. I need to start checking who these people are. And Cece, if there's anybody on here that you think are suspect, please block them now. I'm gonna give you the power to do that. Block them right now, indefinitely. You can block them. I'll give you the permission to do that. Because what we're not gonna do is have spies on here spying for other channels. We ain't playing that game. We're not gonna be doing the spy game. We ain't doing that at all. So, CC, block that person indefinitely. Yeah, block that. Any Mystique and CC, y'all see anybody on here, block that person indefinitely. Let me ask Marilyn. Marilyn, let me see something. There's a Marilyn on here, and I noticed, Marilyn, do you follow Maggie's channel? And if I can't get a yes or no, I'm just gonna block you indefinitely because somebody's been a perpetrator over here that comes over here and watches for other people's channels, and I ain't trying to have none of that shit. Don't need to be nobody up in here watching my channel to report back to other people. Y'all know I don't like that shit, so we ain't gonna be playing that game. Sherry says, Stone, you're funny. Yesterday, you started the show with happy people, then discussed getting in that ring. Yeah, hey, that's why it's happy people, Sherry. What keeps you happy when you put people in their positions? Happy people. Where is Marilyn? We're gonna block Marilyn because she ain't responded. Did y'all block her already? Because we ain't gonna have the YC lookies trying to report over to other people's channel so they can try to do, you know, this YouTube is crazy. You got content, real content creators, and you have people who just take people's material and they want to go and talk about it. Like they build a career off of that. What is that about? Y'all, come on, man. Y'all got to tighten it up now. Intellectual property, copyright, the voice and the face. If your channel has had too many strikes, you don't need no more strikes. Don't fuck with my material. Don't take my voice. It's a disclaimer to anybody right now. If you take my video and you take my voice without emailing me and asking me, I'm going to strike the fuck out your channel. Just letting you know right now. It's all about happy people. Don't make me mad, people. So don't be fucking with my audio. It's copywritten. My videos, my content is copywritten. Do not touch my shit unless you're willing to go in the inbox and ask for my permission. This is my disclaimer, and I will start doing this all the time. You're not about to live off of my content unless I give you permission, period, nigga. Simple as that. Remember that. All that extra shit. And stop the spies. Stop coming to my channel pretending to be a member or pretending to be a subscriber, excuse me, and you in here watching for other people. You a messy motherfucker, you. Don't do that. Thank you, Leanne. Did we block that person? CC? I just need to know if we blocked that person. Okay, good. That motherfucker need to stay out of here indefinitely. That is strange. Stop pulling people's content and then going back and replaying it and doing a review over their shit of what they talk about. Find some shit to talk about for the people that do that. I'm not about to give you my energy so you can use my name to try to create your narrative and blow your channel up. Stop rocking off of my name, period. All right? If you want to, just inbox me and ask me. I probably will say yes, but I will strike your channel if you pull my video with me talking. That is my copyright written material. And Fair Use Act, that shit does not protect you, motherfucker. I'm just gonna let you know. It doesn't protect you. You might think it does, but it doesn't. It's still copyright material that's mine. So don't do it. All right. Now, with that said, we're gonna get back to being happy. All right, you guys, listen. Peace and love. I will be on there tomorrow. We're going to end with happy people. I need y'all to get your dancing shoes up. Get up. We're going to lift some spirits up. All right, we're going to end this live like we begin this live. Happy people, and let's do it. Y'all ready? Let's go. I need y'all to get up and dance. Come on. It don't matter if you at work. Get up. They ain't got to know what you're doing. Just get up and do that. Come on. If you in your car, just go. If you in the store, move that cart. Just move that cart like that. If you in the car, just bounce back and forth like that. You feel what I'm saying? Design. This single is available, you guys. CC, if you can put that in the comment section where they can get the single on iTunes or Spotify. Follow me on Spotify. CC is going to share the link right now. Happy people, don't worry about a thing. Happy people take love and dominate. They say happy people make the world go round and round. Happy people change the frown to a smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Happy people take love and dominate. I need to see my steppers. Come on, steppers. Come on, steppers. That's to my steppers, man. Hey, listen. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow my Spotify, my iTunes. Download the single. Follow Spotify, you guys. The new album's going to be coming. New single drops on the 17th. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock sharp. Let's go. They say people makes the world go round and round. People turn around to smile.